But Chachmei Musar are telling us, as simple it is, more these things need chizuk. The Gemara says that there are a couple of things that always need chizuk. Always a person should reinforce it in his personal life. So one of them is going to be the following topic. In this parasha, we read about Pinchas and the great reward that he got and the great action that he did. And Chazal is saying, the Torah is actually telling us, ויעמוד פנחס ויפלל ותעצר המגפה. Pinchas did tefillah and he stopped the pandemic. At the moment that Am Yisrael made the sin, right? Especially Shevet Shimon made the sin with Bnot Moab. So there was a pandemic in all of Am Yisrael. 24,000 people passed away. Yeah, and the Arizal explains that those were the 24,000 people, Gilgulim of the city of Shechem, right? That Shimon and Levi killed the whole entire city of Shechem, 24,000 people. These 24,000 came back Gilgul, and unfortunately, they didn't do their tikkun. Why they came back as a Gilgul? Because they had Brit Milah, if you remember the story, by Shimon and Levi. Shimon and Levi, they grabbed Shechem ben Chamor, right? He grabbed Dinah, and then they came over to Yaakov Avinu, and they said, okay, if you want a certain type of pact with us, you guys should do Brit Milah. The third day of the Brit Milah, Shimon and Levi came and they killed the whole entire city. So at the end of the day, they were Jewish, right? And their tikkun was not achieved. So the Arizal says that they came back Gilgul at the time of Zimri ben Salu, 24,000 people that died. But this Gilgul didn't reach to their goal. Says the Arizal, they came again one more time. Where? By Rabbi Akiva and the 24,000 students. And like this, we found that these people, that Shimon and Levi, that made the sin with Bnot Moab, they caused, especially Zimri ben Salu, caused a terrible reaction, a terrible effect. So comes Pinchas and he kills up Zimri ben Salu, and we think that everything is over? No, it's not over. We need, and Pinchas needed, a special tefillah. ויעמוד פנחס ויפלל ותעצר המגפה. I believe it's the first time that we found the source of the word tefillah in the Torah. Right? There is by Yitzchak Avinu lasuach basadeh. There is by others that by Yitzchak el Hashem, but the word tefillah appears by Pinchas. ויעמוד פנחס ויפלל. And we see that the action of tefillah made this change and stopped the pandemic not to get extended even more. And that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu was so praised so much Pinchas, right? That he said, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen eshiv et hamati me'al bnei Yisrael. The him'ah, the anger, was supposed to damage all of Am Yisrael. How Am Yisrael are ready to sit down and to look what this guy is doing and what his tribe is trying to protect him, and they don't do nothing. They just cried. It was a terrible gezerah. And Pinchas, throughout the koach of the tefillah, he was able to switch and to change the decree. We found something similar before by Aharon HaKohen, that he also stopped a pandemic. But he stopped with the koach of the ketoret. But the Torah is teaching us that even in our days, that unfortunately we don't have Bet HaMikdash, and we don't have the Ketoret, and we don't have Aharon HaKohen and his Koach. Every Jew can break decrees, but Koach of the Tefillah. If a person does Tefillah properly, Borei Olam always listen our Tefillot. Always. The problem is we're not aware, or we don't give enough importance to the power of tefillah that we have as a simple Jews. The other day there was a Yehudi that had traveled to Ukraine, from Israel to Ukraine. Then he got to Ukraine and he had a very strong headache, and pain in his shoulders and in his neck. Very strong. He says, "Wow, that's so weird." He says, "You know what? I should go to the nearest hospital to be checked." He says he gets to the doctor in English, broken English of the doctor, broken English of the Israeli. They do some x-rays and the doctor says, "Habibi, you need a surgery right away." What surgery? Yes, the problem is one of your chuliot in the back, one of the disc in the back, right, was moved, and this is causing the whole problem. You need right away a surgery. Now this Israeli guy, forget about the insurance. He says, "I'm going to do a surgery in Ukraine with no, thank you." But the doctor is saying, "Habibi, it's not a joke. You got to do it right away." He calls up his father from in Israel. His father was a little bit of a scan. He had contacts. He says, "Daddy, that's the situation. What should I do?" Dad says, "Before you called me, did you pray?" "Pray. Pray, and I'm going to do my ishtalut." The son went to one of the corners and he started to beg to Borei Olam. "Akadosh Baruch Hu, me'ayin yavo ha'ezri. Ha'ezri me'im Hashem. You are the only helper. Please save me from this problem." So he finishes his tefillah. After a couple of minutes, his father calls him up. He says, "Listen to me carefully. Leave the hospital right now. Go to this address, 10 a.m. sharp. I want you to be there. There is one of the professional doctors in Ichilov in Israel, professional professor, right? That is right now in Ukraine, in that city, and he's going to take care of you." He left the hospital. He went to the address. He got there on time. Eventually, the Israeli professor was there. He checks him. He tells him, "Okay, lay down." He push here and there in the back, whatever. I don't know what did he do. He said, "Habibi, you're good to go." So, "Oh, what good to go? Surgery and this?" "No surgery, no shahwar. Nothing. You're good to go." So, "Wow, I can't believe it." And "How much I owe you?" He says, inside him, this professor is going to do me shahita. He says, "Before you ask me how much you owe me for this, you know that I came, from Israel. Okay? And it's a back and forth. So, okay, how much is it?" And then the doctor tells him with a smile and says, "You're not going to believe. I was called last night emergency to come to Ukraine for 2 patients, one at 8 a.m. and the other one at 4 p.m. These 2 patients are covering me what you can cover me for a whole month. I came especially for these 2 guys, and I was here anyways. And then I heard that you're in trouble at 10 a.m. That's exactly my window. I said, why not to help another Jew? Don't worry, you don't have to pay me anything." He says, how Borei Olam moves the world. He's going to cause the 2 Ukrainian people, right, will need something emergency right now. They will bring in a guy from Israel, the top professor, and the top professor, why is he coming to Ukraine? Suddenly in the middle of the night, they wake him up, you have to come right away. Why? Because there is a Yehudi that is going to need you. And whenever the Yehudi did the proper tefillah, Borei Olam helps. ויעמוד פנחס ויפלל ותעצר המגפה. The koach of the tefillah that we have, it's above our understanding. And unfortunately, the Gemara says that there are certain things that they need chizuk because we don't understand how fortunate we are that we have it. And we just, another prayer, another prayer, another prayer. One of them is tefillah. And Chazal is saying, the Ba'alei Musar are writing down, tefillah, it's not only when you come shacharit and harvit. Tefillah, it's every moment. Every moment. You have a couple of minutes, pray for every single detail. The other day I was talking to somebody and he says, wow, it's better. I hope I have to close up the deal over here. I said, did you pray for that? So no, Rabbi, I mean, we're going to be able to do it. So what do you mean you're going to be able to do it? If Borei Olam decides no, all your movements and all the things, it's not going to help. You want Borei Olam with you? Pray. Pray. More a person gives importance to tefillot, more amazing things he sees in his life. But I got to tell you one more thing. This in Parasha, it says, "Vayitzamed." No, I don't remember exactly the words of the pasuk. "Vayitzamdu ha'am lebal peor," something like that. That Am Israel, when they made the scene with Bnot Moab, the pasuk says a terrible word. Vaitzamedu. Vaitzamedu means they get stick to the avodah zarah of Baal Peor. They get stick. And the Midah says, how did they get stick? How Am Israel, Dor De'an, that they live only throughout the man, in the desert. They see miracles day and night. They're ready not only to do avodah zarah of Baal Peor, but to get stick to the avodah zarah. You know what I think it's the Gemara that brings it down. There was a lady, that this lady, Goya, she said, Borei Olam, if you cure me from the sickness that she had, she promised that she will do, not Borei Olam, she said, whatever, she promised that she will do all the avodah zarah that exists in the world. Goya. Eventually, she got cured. And she went one after the other, one after the other. Then she get to Baal Peor. El Peor. Baal Peor. She gets to that avodah zarah. And she asks, how do we worship this avodah zarah? And they tell her, listen, just go to the bathroom. Inside the Baal Peor. And Mechila, from all the tzibur, you clean yourself with the avodah zarah. It's a disgusting thing. I prefer, she said, to get sick again and not to do this avodah zarah. Rabotai. This Goya understood the terrible thing of doing this type of avodah zarah. And Am Yisrael vayitzamedu lebal peor. They got stick to this disgusting avodah zarah. You know what's the answer of Chazal? Chazal is saying Am Yisrael, they had no clue what was the Baal Peor. No clue, no idea. And the Gemara says how slowly the ladies started to convince them to do the avodah zarah. How did they start it? Let's do a shuk, B'Hanei Yehuda. Let's open up a mall. And then new garments, new fashion. So Am Yisrael said, wow, first time we're changing our clothing. It's 40 years, we're in the desert. There was no need. First time there is fashion. Okay, sale. Oh, there you go, clearance. Now, but the clearance was not at the first thing. They entered, there was the old lady over there. And they were telling the guys, oh, if you want a better price, by the way, inside, okay, she's selling 50% off. 2 for 1. And they went inside. And the young girl was inside. And the young girl was tempting them, eat a little bit, drink a little bit. And Chazal is saying that this food and drink of Goim penetrate inside Am Yisrael. And they got to the point of doing Avodah Zarah, Gilui Arayot, and were kofrim on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How is this possible? The answer is small actions matters. Small actions matter. Every time that a person does a small Averah, it's not a small Averah. Averah takes you to a different one, until Bar Minan, a person can do the worst Averot that he will never imagine. And if that's true regarding Averot, how true it is when it comes to mitzvot. Every time that you do a small tefillah, You do a small mitzvah. You came early to shacharit. You came early for mincha. You do korbanot. You put on tefillin with more kavanah. You pray your amidah. You try to have more kavanah in the first beracha. You give tzedakah with the proper mindset. You learn a little bit more. Every tiny action that you do, you have no idea what a huge impact can cause not only to your life, but in the whole surrounding that you are. ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן. רבי חנניה בן אבישע אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיכך לבן האם תורה ומצוות שנים